Hello everyone, welcome to the Classic Tetris Insider, except for there's a little bit different things that is going to be happening, and that is mainly because, one, it has been 2 weeks since the last episode, so why is there another episode here? Well, that's because this is a Flash Insider, and I want to make these Flash Insiders whenever like something big is happening, but it's not time for me to make like another bi-weekly update of things that revolve around Classic Tetris. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to this Classic Tetris Flash Insider. I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and welcome to the Classic Tetris Insider Flash episode. Now, this weekend we have something very special going on, and what is that? What exactly is that? Well, it's CTWC, only the biggest tournament in the year of 2020. Bigger than all the CTMs, bigger than the Gauntlets, Classic Tetris Brawls. It is the Classic Tetris World Championship, and the action starts this weekend, starting with Saturday. Now, at 11 a.m. PDT or 1800 UTC, we are going to be having our first start to the bracket on Saturday. This bracket will include players like Sam Finch, Brendan, Miles, Anthony, and plenty others. Well, I mean, 4 others in that bracket. So they will be playing, but shortly an hour after that, starting at 12 p.m. PDT or 1900 UTC, we have the bracket that a lot of people are anticipating. In this bracket, we have Jake and Nenu. Like, first off, saying those two names, like, what? Jake and Nenu? We have Jake and Nenu. They're not going to be matched up first round, luckily, but who knows? They might cross paths somewhere down the line. Then we also have another round 1 matchup, which is actually me versus Opox. So that's exciting. Both of us are pretty evenly matched, so it could make for some compelling Tetris. I mean, maybe I am biased, but hey, I'm playing in the tournament. Anyways, in addition to that, we also have Tugi, Sidnev, Josh Tolles, and Paul Yo in this bracket as well. So just for those of you that didn't catch the time, that's this Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. PDT or 1800 UTC, we're going to be having our first bracket, which includes players like Tetris Time, Miles, Anthony, Sam Finch, Phantom, Jordan, Brendan. That's going to be in your first bracket, so they're going to be starting getting those first matches out the way there. And then an hour later, after the first bracket has started, we are going to have our second bracket, which starts at 12 p.m. PDT or 1900 UTC. And in this bracket, like I said, we have Jake, Nenu, myself, Opox, Sidnev, Josh Tolles, Paul Yo, and Tugi. So definitely don't want to miss that, especially because, I mean, this is on my channel, so I got to encourage you guys to come and support me, whether or not the results are desirable in my eyes or not. Still love you guys' support. You know, cheer me on in the chat. I guess I'll try and read it after the matches. Anyways, but the action doesn't stop there. Following an hour after that first initial broadcast, including Broden, Ian, Tristop, and them, you will have probably one of the more hype brackets to have happened in this kind of first 4 things, in these first 4 brackets throughout this weekend. Now, the reason why I say that is because this upcoming bracket is going to air at 12 p.m. PDT, but 2000 hours UTC. Like I said, all these times should be on the screen, so you guys should be able to see them. But the reason why I say that it's an exciting bracket is because not only do you have like very powerful tappers like Eric, Huff, and Blank in the bracket, but you also have some very respectable Daz players like Jonas and Yanni going up against, Jonas in particular is going up against Redshirt, who's been gunning this entire week, looking forward to try and be the next Jonas Slayer since Mega Rushman is not playing this year. So that's an exciting bracket. These are 4 brackets that we're going to be seeing. I mean, times are going to be on the screen below. Like I said, on Saturday at 11 a.m. we're going to be having our first bracket with Sam, BV, Miles, Anthony, and all them. Then an hour later, we're going to be having our second bracket at 12 p.m. PDT, 1900 UTC. And that's going to include Jake, Nenu, myself, Opox, Tugi, you know, all of them. And then that's going to be those main two brackets for those 2 days. Then that following Sunday, or the Sunday right after the Saturday, we're going to be having our first bracket starting at, once again, 11 a.m. PDT, but 1900 hours UTC because of daylight savings. That bracket is going to include Tristop, Ian, Broden. And then following an hour after that at 12 p.m. PDT and 2000 hours UTC, we're going to have your bracket with Eric, Jonas, and them. Now, the next 4 brackets are going to be the following weekend, but I'll be sure to regularly include that in your episode of The Inside, in the standard episode of The Insider. Now, one last thing before we conclude this is I want you guys to make sure to join the Shark Tank Discord server. If you want your clips to be submitted and potentially featured in next Insider, because I think that for the next Insider, we're not going to do a lot more than top 5. I want you guys to submit clips that you see from this weekend's CTWC. And if it's something like really insane, you will of course get credit for it in the clip and all that stuff. So that'll be exciting. So link to the description of the Shark Tank will be down below. So if you want to, you know, be a part of that, just be sure to watch, you know, the CTWC broadcast, have your clips. You're only allowed to submit 3 clips over this period, unless you have the special insider role, but more on how to get that in future insiders. But okay, so before we go into our outro, there's one thing that I forgot to mention. The first brackets for each day on Saturday and Sunday are going to be on the Classic Tetris 2 channel on Twitch. So link to that will be in the description, but the first bracket of the day will be on Classic Tetris 2, not Classic Tetris 1. And then the second bracket will be on Classic Tetris 1 on Twitch. Like I said, link to both of those channels will be down in the description below. But anyways, that's going to, you know, conclude the show. Now, before I go into thanking my Patreons and go into the typical outro that I generally have with my videos, I like to say thank you guys so much for all the feedback you showed on the second episode. As I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware, I spent like nearly 36 hours straight working on that video. And I know there were some edges that were rough around it. There was a lot of things that didn't necessarily end up polished because it's still my second episode, necessarily my first real episode, considering that the first one was a pilot. And so I'm still trying to figure out how I want this show to kind of be. And your feedback is allowing me to kind of, you know, shape it. One thing that your feedback definitely said was like the energy and the passion that I showed through my commentary just kind of wasn't there in that insider. And so that is something that I'm going to work on, because definitely, trust me, I'm one of the most passionate people about Classic Tetris, and I want my passion to be felt whenever I'm doing these insiders. So it's something I'm working on. I hope you guys like the way I presented this kind of Flash Insider better. But yeah, anyways, like I said, shout out to my Patreons, Tyler for the $5 tier, Old Tapper for the $25 tier, and Aaron Jaws Homoki for the $50 tier. Your support allows me to continue making content like this and content in the future. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, be sure to check down the link down in the description below. Anyways, if you made it to this end of the video, give yourself a pat on the back, and you know, why not go ahead and give a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down which bracket are you most excited for. Are you excited for the first bracket on Saturday, or maybe the second bracket on Saturday, or hopefully you're waiting on the next day to see, you know, the first bracket on Sunday or the second bracket on Sunday. All of them are good brackets, and in all honesty, you should be excited for all of them, because I am. Now, before I conclude, I just want to remind you guys that if you want clips to be entered in the Insider for next week, because we might even do top 10 or top 15, be sure to join the Shark Tank Discord server down in the description below. That way you can submit clips from either your personal gameplay or gameplay that has happened at CTWC. More information will be, like I said, in the Discord below. Anyways, I am your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see you all in the next Insider.